Apartments right here on Fairburn Road, where an unbelievable tragedy occurred late this afternoon, early this evening, where 3 children unfortunately died because of a fire due to smoke inhalation during that fire. And my heart goes out to this family that have just lost a 3-year-old, a 2-year-old, and a 10-month-old right here in our community. And I'm sure the neighbors, family members, and all involved in this are just devastated. And so are also our fire rescue department and Grady personnel and others that came to render aid in this emergency situation. I'll pass it to Chief in a little bit to give the details of what happened, but as a father of a child that grew up in this very similar community, my heart goes out to this family as we're dealing with a tragic situation where 3 children, 3 infants passed away today due to smoke inhalation. And Chief Smith, if you can give details of your updates on the fire.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. At approximately 3:30 this afternoon, Atlanta Fire Rescue responded to an E911 call of a working fire on an apartment. Upon arrival, they found heavy fire in a second-story apartment. They immediately entered the apartment and extinguished the fire and contained it to the point or apartment of origin. Upon arrival, all occupants of the structure were out of the structure. Atlanta Fire Rescue immediately provided EMS support and started CPR immediately, and unfortunately, the 3 children expired. Our deepest condolences from AFRD and the City of Atlanta to the family and their loved ones.
Can you share their ages?
The ages were age 2, age 3, and 10 months.
And the genders, do you know, 3 boys, 2 girls, anything, do you know, and genders?
We don't know that at this time.
And there were some of the residents inside the neighborhood were saying that there were problems with the fire hydrants, and some of them weren't putting out water. Have you looked into that, or can you confirm any of that information regarding the working order of those fire hydrants and who manages them?
We did check into that. So those hydrants belong to the City of Atlanta. Our firefighters experienced no water issues while extinguishing the fire. Immediately afterward, we checked every hydrant in the complex. All hydrants are operational, as well as checking our records, as we recently completed our hydrant season where we check the operation of all hydrants.
Now, this is the second fire in the past year that has unfortunately befallen this community. Last July, Red Cross and other city resources went to help out about 36 displaced people who lived in here because of another fire. As far as investigations into this apartment complex, a lot of residents are just feeling, for lack of a better word, kind of looked over, and they're worried about the safety. So as a fire official, what do you say about the safety of the complex and what you guys are doing to make them feel like this won't happen again?
So what we want them to know that this is an urgent matter on our behalf, and the fire marshal and his team will be out here to check and inspect and to make sure that it is up to compliance.
And right now, as far as the cause of the fire, how this all started?
Right now, the fire is under investigation. Right now, all indications are leading towards electrical.
Take care, everybody.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
You've been listening to Atlanta Mayor Andre Dickens, and fire officials give an update on this fire that happened earlier today along Fairburn Road in southwest Atlanta at this apartment complex that we're showing you from the First Alert Chopper, and just heartbreaking information coming out of this news conference saying that 3 children died from smoke inhalation in this fire today, ages 2, 3, and 10 months old.
That was a heavy fire that was on the 2nd floor. There were issues reported by eyewitnesses as well as residents who lived in this complex that their accusation is that the fire hydrants were not in working order during the fire and the attempts to put the fire out, but the Atlanta Fire Department disputes those allegations and says that there are records to show, as well as the fact that they were able to put the fire out because the fire hydrants were working.
There's also some question about what's been happening at this apartment complex as we've been reporting, and as you heard in that news conference, this is the 2nd fire at this apartment complex in less than a year. Some questioning how that's happening and what's the message to residents there. Is the apartment complex safe? And when fire officials were asked about this, they said this is an urgent matter. The fire marshal is inspecting it. Certainly a lot of questions from residents tonight.
That previous fire had 36 people displaced. There are more people displaced tonight. Our Carly Barnett is in the First Alert breaking news desk. And Carly, you know more about the history of this complex. This is not unique to Atlanta's fire department. They have fought fires there before, also deadly ones, and residents are concerned. Are they safe? Can they live there without having to fear that they may also suffer the same ending?
Well, Sean, what we do know is that there were similar concerns in July of 2024 where people were asking about the fire hydrants, and they were in working order at that time as well. We do know Atlanta Fire Rescue Chief Roderick Smith just saying that they were working. So at this time, of course, we still have a lot of questions as to what exactly took place here and all of the factors that were involved. As the chief said, that they are still waiting on an official cause, but all indications right now appear as though it was some sort of electrical issue at that apartment.
Those investigators still looking into that cause and getting more information. That as we show you these pictures from the First Alert chopper from earlier today, this fire taking place, I think he said around in the 3 o'clock hour.
In the 3 o'clock hour. So again, if you're just joining us, you're looking at pictures from the First Alert chopper as it hovers above an apartment complex in Atlanta where 3 infants died from smoke inhalation. Just around 3:30, the first initial calls were made to 911. According to Atlanta Fire, heavy fire, EMS provided support, but unfortunately, a 2-month-old, a 3-month-old, a 2-year-old, a 3-year-old, and a 10-month-old child has died in this fire. Their gender has not been disclosed yet, but obviously just a terrible situation. And just a reminder, as the temperatures drop, to be careful if you're using any type of appliance such as space heaters or your oven to stay warm. That carries a whole host of dangers. And make sure that your smoke detectors are working and your batteries have been changed and they're brand new.
Certainly so much concern about that, Sean, as you bring that up, knowing that those 3 children died from smoke inhalation from this situation taking place along Fairburn Road, this taking place in southwest Atlanta. And we just heard from city officials who were giving that latest update from that scene.
We are going to continue to keep you posted on this story, both on air and online on our Atlanta News First app. And also we'll have an update tonight at 11. But Patrick, the temperatures, they are plummeting as we speak, and making sure that homes are heated, major concern. But with space heaters, take caution.
Absolutely.